Okay, so we're doing a lot of work on the cars. So a couple tools that are really necessary is a brake, a shear, and on the older pre-war cars, an English wheel is really handy too. We'll start with the brake. Not cheap and extremely heavy, but I just bought them used off of a government surplus, and I think I only paid a couple $100 for it. When we sandblasted the transport truck, I had them sandblasted as well. Just put some paint on it. I had an extra sticker, so put the name on it. Nice. They don't make them like they used to, and you can really tell that this probably wouldn't do in a new shop, but it's perfect for the stuff that I work on. So a couple things you want to keep in mind is when you're buying it, make sure that the edge is nice and straight and clean. I actually put this nick in there because I'm bending stuff that I shouldn't. So these are replaceable. This is a Brown and Boggs, and I don't know if they even make replacement bars for these anymore, but it's working great for what I need it to do. So keep in mind that it is adjustable. You can actually move the whole top brake forward and back, and that's by backing off this screw at the front and tightening the one at the back here. And what that does is, if you want a nice crisp bend on a very sharp angle, you want to bring that forward. If you want a little bit more of a rounded corner, you can just back this whole section off, and that'll give you a lot rounder of a corner. The down pressure is also adjustable by these three rods here. So you loosen this set screw here, and then raise and lower this, and that puts more pressure on it down on the brake. The shear, same thing. I bought it at the same time. It's got a few more adjustments, and I'm still playing with it to get it right. But this actual table is what moves. So you can see the set screw here, and what you want to do is get it nice and tight so that the closer the shear is to each other, the nicer of a cut it will do. So there's 3 bolts on either side that hold this table to the legs. So loosen those 3 bolts off on either side, lower the brake, and put it nice and tight up against there. Basically as tight as you can get the shear to the table, the nicer the cut it's gonna make. Now these have a tendency to back off, so the people that I got it from welded this little bar in there to keep it in place. There's set screws at the back here, which actually move the actual shear forward and back. Or sorry, not forward and back, but just take all the play out of it. So basically, I tightened them and then backed them off about a quarter turn, and you can see it's nice and tight. It doesn't come up on its own, but I know that it's nice and tight. Now you can also adjust left to right, and that's done at the bottom here. So crack the jam nut loose here, and then tighten this turnbuckle, and that will allow the shear to come down left or right. So it's trial and error in the different thicknesses of sheet metal, whatever works best for you, whether it comes down level or starts a little bit on an angle and goes down and shears as you go across. That's really up to you. Now this English wheel, I bought this at Princess Auto, which is a Canadian store, and I'm sure the Americans have their version of it. And I was leery about buying it, and I thought, I've got heated floors, so I made the mistake. I ran my water lines too close to the outside that I can't bolt this to the floor. And I thought maybe I might have to weld a bar or something down on here to keep this stable, but really it's pretty stable as it is. So they have a benchtop version, which was about $150 cheaper. This was $320 on sale. And I'm really happy with it. I thought maybe I'd have to cut these off and make my own stand for it, but it does everything that I need it to do. When you're using it, it's very straightforward again. When you're putting your steel in between here, what it's doing is shrinking the steel, and what it's doing is compressing it. You've got different rollers with different amount of curve to it. The bigger the curve, the sharper your curve is going to go in your steel, and when you roll it back and forth, it curls it and your x-axis, and it also does your y. It curls it 2 different ways. Now, you won't use that too often, an English wheel, unless you get into the old pre-war or just after the war, where everything is rounded and curved. You can do some neat stuff with that. There's lots of videos to show you exactly how to do. We're not going to get into that. But if you're going to think about getting an old car like this, where the doors curl along the rocker and curl this way, an English wheel to make the bottom door panels works really well. So good tools, and keep your eye open on Craigslist and Kijiji and estate sales especially. You can pick those up for a couple $100 and not break the bank on a brand new one. So that's the way I like to do it. Here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because you never know what you're going to see next week on DeBoss Garage. If you like what you see, there's a lot of stuff happening to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.